Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Thursday, August 19th. So the moon is going to be in Capricorn all day. It will be going void of course around 9 p.m. in the evening, again Atlantic Standard Time, and we'll be moving into the Aquarian energy 5:50 a.m. early Friday morning. Now today we have a little bit more of a quiet, introverted day than yesterday. And you know what? We had a big day yesterday. We're going to need a little tiny bit of a break. Let me tell you, there are 8 different aspects taking place in the cosmos today. 6 of them evolve the moon in Capricorn. We are still in the adjustment phase, refining the details of our plans, of our vision. Uranus will be going retrograde today, and let me tell you, we are now in the window of the full moon Aquarius energy that will be taking place on Sunday. So you best believe things are about to get a little bit funky. The moon in Capricorn goes ahead and bumps into the true node. And as you know, the true node tried to talk to the moon in Capricorn yesterday, but the moon in Capricorn didn't want to think about the future. He just wanted to put the blinders on and focus on the task at hand. So the true node's kind of bumping into the moon this morning saying, hey guy, I know that you don't want to think about the future. I get it. But guess what? You were very productive keeping your blinders on yesterday and, shit almost got out of control. You did pass a couple of tests. You definitely made some moves and gathered some more information. Now, can I ask you what your plan is? And so at this particular point in time, we are starting to think a little tiny bit about our future plans, about our future goals. If you listened to yesterday's forecast, you would know that we were given the green light to go ahead and take action on research, on asking the right questions, on formulating a plan. We did get to kind of make a couple of steps forward. But now we have to think about the information that we received. It is going to kind of put a little bit of a twist on not only our plans moving forward, but it kind of opens our eyes to some of the situations that unfolded in the past, especially over the last week or two, I will say, because it has been a very turbulent cycle here. But now we're kind of thinking back and we're like, oh, okay, if I would have had that information, I wouldn't have said that to that person, or had I known that this information was available, I would have asked sooner, or just kind of questioning how this new information, these new details, this new perspective is kind of altering the life that we just experienced. Had we known, we would have made different decisions. The moon goes ahead and trines Uranus. This is actually the last aspect that Uranus will be making in the cosmos before going retrograde. He's pretty much at a standstill right now. He's literally not moving in orbit at all. He's stationed. And so we're preparing for him to go retrograde later on in the day. But this is like the last little conversation that he needs to get off his chest before he does his inner healing work. So what can we gain from this? Well, this is going to be a very pivotal time for us because we gain huge insight, especially with the information, especially with the new details that are coming to light. Now we're able to actually focus in on what it is that we need. So what do we need to feel safe? What it is that we need to feel secure? What it is that we need in order to actually move forward? This is basically a beautiful aha moment where we shift our perspective based off of the new elements that have just been revealed to us, and of course, altering our path forward. So we have a huge amount of logical and practical information coming in, but also there's like this cosmic intelligence. Our intuition is speaking very loud to us at this point. We're able to blend that energetic information with the practical and earthy information of our situations to come up with a new perspective. The moon in Capricorn goes ahead and bumps into the sun in Leo, and this really highlights for us where it is that we are changing, where it is that we do have to try something new, where it is that we do have to try to calm the inner conflict between the old and the new part of ourselves, where they're constantly going at war. We really want to step into a new energy, a new vibration, a new mindset, where the sun in Leo is kind of infusing us with all this passion, with these new desires, with this bravery, with this confidence. And as we know, that Capricorn energy being ruled over by Saturn wants us to stay in the same kind of patterns until we have perfected certain situations in order for us to actually fully and maturely learn our life lessons. So we're kind of questioning right now, okay, so it is familiar to stick with the old because we know what we're going to get. We might not like what we're going to get, but at least we know what we're going to get. And, trying new things, we don't know what to expect. And that uncertainty can be enough to make us anxious or create fears and insecurities enough for us to kind of retreat from this new path. What are we going to do about it? At this particular point, the true node chimes in again and kind of reminds us, hey, I thought you were excited about the new dream and the vision that you've been working so hard on manifesting. And the moon in Capricorn is like, yeah, well, we can't get excited about things that could happen. We have to focus on the things that currently are happening. And the true node is like, okay, no, that's totally fair. But you have a totally different perspective of your life today than you did yesterday with all of that new information and drama that came to light. So how can you stay in the same old when things are changing every single day? And the moon in Capricorn is like, okay, no, that's a valid point, but I'm just not ready to allow my thoughts, my energy to go into future self when there's so much that we still have to clean up and sort out here. And so the true node is like, okay, so you're obviously not ready to have this conversation. You're comfortable in blocking your own path forward. You're comfortable in staying in this chaotic state of being. You're comfortable in just living in this present moment. This is a reminder to us all that staying and living in the present moment is a coping mechanism. It's a survival tactic. And we're being asked to move out of survival and into thriver mode. But thriver mode is going to require us to do things a little bit differently and to embody certain parts of ourselves that we might not have explored and become a little bit comfortable with as of yet. So there's like an understanding between the new moon or between the moon in Capricorn and the true node that since the new moon in Leo, we've been fired up and passionate to move forward. But all of a sudden with all of this earth energy, we're just kind of trying to find a stable point in our day-to-day life. Now we recognize that if we want to continue to live in the moment, things are never going to change. We're just going to survive from one moment to the next. That true node just wants us to remind ourselves of the big vision, the hopes, the dreams that we had for ourselves just a week ago. So the moon in Capricorn goes ahead and sextiles Neptune. This is going to be a beautiful energy for us because although the moon in Capricorn wants to stick to this physical realm in this present moment with all the tasks, chores, roles, and responsibilities, Neptune wants us to attach to our intuition, to our higher self, just so that we know that it's okay to want to stay in the old, want to stay in the familiar, but to realize that we're only ever going to get what it is we've already got if we refuse to change and transform. Now, we do have an opportunity here to attach to our intuition and our higher self, to remind ourselves of that vision and to embody the excitement that we had when we think about actually living in the realities that we're looking so hard to manifest. This, although the moon in Capricorn doesn't really want to think about emotion, this is actually going to bode very well for us because we do need to continuously remind ourselves what is at stake here and our happiness, fulfilling a soul mission, standing in the truth of our power of our soul's mission is a feeling that we have to follow, we have to pursue. Uranus in this moment goes retrograde, and I am going to invite you to look up what Uranus retrograde actually means for us. I just did a video on this where I dive a little bit into the qualities and characteristics on what we can expect in our individual lives and, of course, on the great grander stage of the collective. It is included in the August forecast playlist, so it should be pretty easy for you to find. But basically, we now have all the major heavy hitting planets in a retrograde, retracing our steps, rethinking our progress, realizing new information and details coming to light, reawakening to certain things that we just didn't have the energy for in the months gone by, and definitely rewriting how it is we think, how it is we feel, and basically re-editing how it is that we are going to move forward. The moon goes ahead and conjuncts Pluto. So what does this mean? It means that Pluto, who is retrograde in Capricorn, is at the exact degree in which the moon in Capricorn now moves into. So they're sitting beside one another in the cosmos. And at this particular point in time, we have the ability to heal. We have the ability to feel everything very intensely, even though the moon in Capricorn has worked very hard for us to block out all feels. Now they come rushing in. Now we have no choice but to sit in the intensity of all of the feels that are coming to the surface. Now this could go one of two ways. We have the ability to really be consumed and drowned under the emotions, the intensity coming up for us, or we have the ability to allow this intensity to act as an accelerator, a catalyst, to fuel the flames and fuel the fire of empowering us to a new level of control, of discipline, of vision, where we're able to actually stand in our power in this present moment, and where we're actually giving ourselves permission to think about the vision that we're working hard to actually manifest. So the sun in Leo goes ahead and sits across the table from Jupiter retrograde in Aquarius. And this is in opposition, so it's a little bit of a confrontation. It's a little bit of a serious talk here. And there is the topic and theme on the table is, are you ready to grow? Are you ready to expand? Are you ready to leave your comfort zone and sacrifice the uncertainty and the unfamiliarity, the unpredictability of trying something new, of putting yourself out there? Here's the caution that I will say to you. The sun in Leo, very big, very bold, very passionate, very heart-led, very soul-led, very loud in our face. Jupiter, retrograde in Aquarius, has a tendency to over-exaggerate the roles and responsibilities that we currently have right now, to bust out of the old and jump into the new. So the volume is all the way up on knowing we have to grow, knowing we have to expand, knowing we have to push the boundaries. But we're almost coming off a little bit too extra. We're biting off way more than we could chew. This is going to only add to the pressure that we already feel, and it could put us in a state of paralysis. I also want to throw a caution out there because we have a tendency to miss the details. We have a tendency to think too big and not focus in on the details that we need to know are super important in order for that big grand vision to even unfold. What we're going through here is a little bit of an ebb and flow where we have to think of the big picture and then we have to break it down into small steps. And then we have to focus on the details of what it is that we're currently dealing with in our lives and seeing how we can align that to the bigger, greater, grander picture, the vision that we want to actually be living. So there is going to be a little bit of a push and pull. And because we are in the refinement, the adjustment stage of manifesting, we do have to tweak our perspective just a bit. We do have to manage our energy in a different way. We have to be aware of the push and pull, where it is that we're being pushed too far to make too many changes, to make too many steps forward, and where it is that we're just not comfortable to leave our comfort zones just yet.